Hello again, and welcome to the June 15th, actually I think 16th installment of the Pepper Joe's pepper grow that I have going on here in Ohio, Zone 6. We're going to start off with these guys. These are the Kung Paos, and like I said earlier, I was disappointed in that I had 12 seeds and I got 3 plants. But these 3 plants are pretty nice, so I'm not going to really complain too much. And as you can see, I got tons and tons of these huge peppers growing on this plant here. So I got 3 plants in this particular bucket, and I've got lots of peppers, and they're actually turning a little purple. I'm getting a little purple on some of these here, but it's a really nice looking plant. And there's a whole bunch of stuff up here. There's a whole bunch of peppers up here, just getting started, all this here. So we're going to have a whole bunch of peppers off of these 3 Kung Pao plants that are right here. Okay, now this plant right here next to it, 4 in this pot, is a Tampanica. It's a Serrano Tampaniqua, something like that. And as you can see, these are typical Serranos. They're nice looking. These are definitely what they're supposed to be, Serranos. And we're getting a lot of them. There's a lot of little ones here starting up on this plant. Again, another nice looking plant. 4 in that particular pot. And these guys right here are the Del de Mochas, okay? This Del de Mocha plant right here, okay? And Del de Mochas have a few peppers in there. Not as many as some of these other plants. I've only got about 5 or 6 growing on this plant so far. And nothing's really big. There's one right there that you can see. But it's definitely bolting a little bit. It's bigger than the other plants. But again, it's really healthy. And it looks good. Looks like you could use more flowers on it. It's definitely not producing that many flowers right now, which seems to be the issue. Lots of flowers on the tips there, but definitely working on getting peppers on this particular plant. It's not doing too bad though. We'll get peppers on this one here. And this little small one here, these little 4 right here, are Cascabellas, and they are the most mild of all the peppers I have. These are supposed to be like 1,000 Scoville at the most. And this plant's probably got about 30 peppers on it right now. 40 peppers. There's just tons of them inside of the plant right now, with tons of them growing on the outside. So these Cascabellas are doing really nice right here. So these are all Pepper Joe plants. Kung Pao on the end here. Serrano Tampaniqua. The Del de Mochas and the Cascabellas right here. These are all Pepper Joe seeds that I got, and they all appear to be exactly what they're supposed to be. Down here, we have the Reapers, the Carolina Reapers, and I'm just starting to get flowers on the Reaper plants here. I have no actual peppers left, or peppers on the plant yet, but the Reaper plants are looking pretty good. They're growing, and it's only June 15th, so we still got about 4 months in our growing season, and they're starting to bolt a little bit. And I also have mushrooms growing in this. I got some compost from the store, and I've done a bunch of mycology work in the past. I've grown a lot of mushrooms in the past, and I was quite surprised to find that my compost that I bought actually has mushroom spores in it, and it's been pretty humid and wet around here recently, so I'm getting a lot of mushrooms popping up in my pots right now. I have not looked them up to see what they are, though. I'm not really going to eat them or try to eat them. They look poisonous, so they look like poison varieties. So right now, these are Pepper Joe's. These are his Carolina Reapers that I bought from Pepper Joe's. And like I said, they're looking okay. No peppers, but we got flowers. So we got a lot of flowers growing on them right now, so we'll have peppers soon enough. These guys right here are ghost peppers, and I got these for free, like I said earlier, from the local nursery, and they're looking good. The same as the Reapers. They are not producing any actual pods yet, but there's a lot of flowers that are just starting to come out on them, and they're starting to kind of take off too as far as their growth rate goes. They're starting to get bigger. Again, 4 months until these things are ready. And I got mushrooms again. I got little mushrooms pinning up here. There's mushrooms pinning all over these these bags and stuff in here and some of these pots. So I think that's kind of funny. So those are not Pepper Joe plants. These ghost peppers are not Pepper Joes right here. These are Scarlets right here that I got from Pepper Joe's. And these Scarlets are pretty. Tons of peppers in here. Just tons of these gorgeous little purple peppers everywhere and stuff. They're all over this plant. There's 4 of these in here. There's 4 in every pot except for the Kung Paos, which are only 3. And these are the variegated Scarlets. And there's a little variegation here, starting up here in the top. You can see it a little bit there. Little white, little purple, little green coming up. Lots of flowers on this plant still. So this Scarlet is a beautiful plant. It's really putting out a whole bunch here. I'm really quite happy with the Scarlets here and stuff. So we're going to see how they taste. These right here are Japanese, okay? And I only got 3 Japanese plants. I thought I had 4, but after going through it, I realized that this other plant in the pot here was not a Japanese plant. It's actually a sport pepper plant. And that's the plant right here. These are sport peppers here. But these are the Japanese, and I've got 3 of them in here. And you can see that they grow little clusters right on top. They're all pointing up and everything like that. Little clusters in the back here and everything. And in the back of this one pot, I thought I had 4, but it turns out that this right here is I'm pretty sure it's a sport pepper plant. But again, we'll see on that. And this right here is supposed to be a sport pepper plant, but this is the only plant that I'm having questions about, simply for the fact that I have sport peppers. I bought sport peppers in a jar, and the peppers in the jar are not as big. You can see how big this pepper is right here, and there's a couple more on this plant that are pretty good size. These are way bigger than the sport peppers in the jars. So either they pick them when they're small and pickle them, maybe when they're milder. I don't know how they do it, but I can tell you that the peppers that are on this particular plant are a lot bigger than the ones that are charred up and sold or put on hot dogs in the Chicago stadiums. But these are Pepper Joe's. So Scarlets here, Scarlets. The Japanese right here, Pepper Joe's, and the sport peppers right here are Pepper Joe's. Plants that I got from him, seeds I got from him. And we're going to get to the last bit here. This one here is a purple Cayenne. Lots of purple Cayennes on here. Tons and tons. If you can see in there, I got tons of these purple Cayennes in there. And they're all over this plant. A lot of them. So I can probably count at least 25 to 30 of these with a lot of flowers. You can see all the flowers just all over this plant right now. So like this is the budding and stuff. It's tons of it. So we're looking forward to a really nice harvest. Again, 4 plants. Pepper Joe's. This is Pepper Joe's. And this one here is mine. This is my just regular Cayenne plant that I grow every year. We've been growing this for years, making sauce out of it every year, just our own hot sauce. We use it in all kinds of stuff. Normally I grow 2 or 3 buckets of these things, and we get a gallon of sauce every year. I make a gallon of hot sauce every year, which is more than we would ever eat in a year. So we make our own buffalo sauce and things like that out of it. And this is a nice plant, really nice plant right here. And then we're up to the, these are cherry bombs here. And the cherry bombs are kind of coming along. There's only about 3 or 4 cherry bombs actually on the plant right now, but there's a lot of little teeny ones in here. You can see them just starting up. So kind of a late flower-er. And again, 4 of them are in here, 4 plants. And it's hard to see, but there's a few down there, a couple of big ones way down in here. Let me see if I can get in here. There's a couple of them in there, you can see. Pretty good size. So we've got a few big cherry bombs. Some animal came out the other day and ate one, and he didn't like it. He took a couple of bites and spit it out. So I just kind of laugh when the animals come along and try to eat the peppers and find out how hot they are. And then this is the one that, this is a Pecan. And the Pecan here is really the only one that doesn't have any flowers yet. It has no peppers and it has no flowers yet. And it's growing a little bit slower than the rest of the plants and stuff, but it has no flowers or anything. It's not producing any kind of buddage for me to have peppers. It looks like there's maybe a little bit of something on top here, but I don't see much on this Pecan. But we got 4 months, so we'll see what happens in 4 months. But so far, this is This is the one plant that's just not really doing much for me so far, is the pecans. So the pecans, that's Pepper Joe's, and the cherry bombs here, that's Pepper Joe's, and the Cayenne, purple Cayennes here on the end are Pepper Joe's, and that's my Cayenne right there. So right now, this is what we're doing. We got all these different pepper plants here going, and some are really putting out, and others are kind of putting out, and a few are just not doing anything so far. But you know, I'm not a pepper expert. I generally just grow cayennes and jalapenos every year, and that's what we do. We make serrano and hot sauces and stuff like that out of it. But we'll see what we get out of these this year. And growing ghost peppers and reapers, I'm not really sure why I'm growing them. I guess just because I can. I just wanted to grow some reapers, I guess, just because everybody else wants to grow reapers, I'll grow a few and stuff like that. But as you can see, the Pepper Joe plants pretty much look like what they're supposed to. They all look like the plants that they were advertised as, and that's pretty much all I got right now. So enjoy. I'm going to go back here and show you the jalapenos that I got growing in my main garden, and then we'll call this video quits. Okay, this is my bigger garden that we have in the backyard here. These are all sugary hybrids that we grow every year. These hybrids are delicious, man. We get so many of these hybrids off here. And then we got all these other tomato plants here. Hang on, I'm just about walking to a spider web. These are known as giant paste tomatoes. These are a hybrid that we're growing this year. Obviously not peppers, but we're getting a nice amount of tomatoes starting to pop up June 15th, and we got a lot. But these are all the jalapenos, and they're catching up. They're all catching up down here and stuff. They all got tons of jalapenos on them, so we got a lot of jalapeno plants here, and they're doing pretty good. So we'll see how these all turn out. But these four are one thing, and these three down here are something else. These ones down here are giant jalapenos, and it's weird. The giant jalapeno plants are smaller than my regular jalapeno plants, but the jalapenos that are on them are huge. So we got these huge jalapenos growing on these plants. And then I got my regular jalapenos, these four right here. So giant jalapenos, three of them, and then regular jalapenos down here. And you can kind of see the difference. You can actually see a difference in the plants. And the giant jalapenos here, these are actually older plants. These plants are about 2 weeks older than these other ones over here, and the other ones are already bigger. So regular jalapenos, giant jalapenos, and you can see some big jalapenos on there. So that pretty much does that. And then we're back to tomatoes again, a little quickie tomato thing here. As you can see, I got some nice clusters going down here and stuff. These are cedros, C-E-D-R-O is what these are called. And it's a nice plant. Looks like a nice variation. It's a large paste tomato. I need to come in here and spray these today because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I spray them for blight. We spray them with fungus, or with anti-fungicide for blight, which we get every year, and I need to go do that after I do this video. So this is our main garden back here where we do tomatoes. And I normally don't grow jalapenos back here, but I don't have any room on the porch for them. So